Hi, Mary from Reviewer's Diary, and I'm here to talk about my 1-year journey to being cruelty-free. About a year ago, I made an announcement that I was no longer going to spend my money on things that were not cruelty-free, and I was only going to buy cruelty-free products. I have stuck to that pledge. The only thing is, I sometimes get things for free that aren't cruelty-free, and I sometimes get things in boxes or bags that are not cruelty-free that I choose to use. I still have not gone shopping to buy anything that's not cruelty-free. I check the status of everything over and over again because I want to make sure that something hasn't changed before I purchase any products. So as far as shampoo, body wash, makeup, lotion, I have not bought anything that's not cruelty-free at all. That having been said, I've been a reviewer on Amazon since 1998. I have a review blog that has a lot of these videos are on there now, but there are also reviews for products. Some of them are not cruelty-free, and the ones that are not cruelty-free, I say, this is not cruelty-free. I usually try to give an alternative if there is one. So you are going to still see that I am going to still review things that are not cruelty-free. Occasionally you will see things in my empties that are not cruelty-free. I have 2 big drawers full of stuff from beauty boxes and bags, and an entire drawer full of mascara that came from beauty boxes, bags, and previous purchases. So I am currently using up those things, but I have not, over the course of an entire year, bought anything knowingly that was not cruelty-free. What you need to remember is, as a reviewer, sometimes I get products. I love getting those products. I have these products that I joined a site called CrowdTap, and I got all these L'Oreal hair products for free. You will see reviews of these. I have tried the sample sizes. They also sent sample packets, and I really, really like it. I really like it. It makes my hair super soft and really manageable. But I will say, when I do the formal review, this is not cruelty-free. Here's an alternative that you can try. I'll have to buy a few products that are not cruelty-free to try to compare them to these, but that's part of my job as a reviewer. Now, I've been a reviewer since 1998, as I said, so I have a ton of reviews on Amazon. I have a ton of reviews now on Goodreads. I review books. I have product reviews on my website, along with little snippets of these videos that you can go to the video to see. But there are going to be times you're going to see things that are not cruelty-free. But know this, I have not purchased them with my own money. Now, there are some very mean, cruelty-free people. Yeah. I went through a phase where I got so much hate mail from cruelty-free people. I actually got really upset. I was really hurt, and I'm not going to let that happen to me anymore. I gave rid of pretty much everything I had that wasn't cruelty-free, except for a few products that I just couldn't give away because they'd been used or they were Elizabeth Arden. Now, I gave away all of my Elizabeth Arden lip pencils and all but 1.5 eye pencil. I kept my eyeshadow little palettes, and you know, you can hate me for that if you want to. That's your prerogative. I don't care. You can bite me, because I have been using Elizabeth Arden products since I was about 17. So I've been using the products for more than 25 years. Yeah, I'm a little older than I look, although tonight I feel really old. Whew, I feel really old tonight. But I kept those because I know I can never buy them again, and I am using them up. Like, for example, my project palette, which, you know, a lot of people do over the course of a year. I'm just going to do it as long as it takes, are 2 of these Elizabeth Arden palettes. So I am working to use these things up, but I love them. So I have quite a few little palettes to go through that are Elizabeth Arden. And someday when they're all gone, which may take a while, then I will be totally 100% cruelty free. I consider myself cruelty free now because I don't purchase anything that is not cruelty free, at least not knowingly. I want to say that those of you who are cruelty free might want to think before you send out messages that are hate mail to people who are saying that they're going cruelty free. I've seen some messages on other people's posts too that are just like, gosh, awful. Somebody actually said in one of her videos that she got so much hate mail that she ended up deleting all those messages. That's what we do. We delete those messages because we're not giving you airtime. If you're nasty, you're not getting airtime. So think before you post, because there's a human being behind that camera lens. You know, a human being who has feelings and makes a choice. No one has the right to judge another human being. No one. You know, this YouTube community, this is people, this is beauty community for the most part, although some of us do book reviews too, which I just did one. But, you know, this is a community of people who are like makeup lovers. Don't tear people down. Don't judge other people. Some of us still have some non-cruelty free items. Some people are following the same path that I have, using up their non-cruelty free items intentionally so that they can become totally cruelty free over time. Not spending our hard-earned dollars on things that are not cruelty free, not supporting those companies by paying for things. Some people choose to go 100%, like even if a brand is cruelty free but the parent company isn't, they are like, I'm not buying that anymore. Well, pretty soon there'll be nothing left for you to buy. Nothing. Because all the big companies are buying up all the little companies. So you're going to stop using Tarte because its parent company now is not cruelty free, but they still are. You're going to stop using NYX because their parent company is not cruelty free, even though they signed an agreement with PETA that they would remain cruelty free. You're going to stop using Smashbox because you're afraid that they almost went into China once and they didn't, and their parent company is not cruelty free. I'm not. You're going to stop using, what else is there? Urban Decay, because it's owned by another company that's a conglomerate that's not cruelty free, but they are. If you look through your makeup, and if you want to be a purist, you'll end up throwing away everything you have. And what a waste that would be, for no good reason. There are only a couple brands now that are not owned by a conglomerate but remain cruelty free. Some companies are not owned by conglomerates, and so they can still be reliably thought of as being cruelty free. Ulta still owns itself. It's not owned by a conglomerate. They're cruelty free. Sephora brand, by contrast, is not cruelty free. They sell, Sephora brand cosmetics sell in China, and so therefore they're not cruelty free. But that's one of the things that I like, is I like to educate people. You know, what's cruelty free, what's not. So just know that you're going to see reviews for things like this. Things that I get for free, things that come in beauty boxes. But I'm not out there spending my hard-earned money supporting this brand by buying it, unless they turn cruelty-free by getting out of China. I know they're still in China, and I know they've developed different ways of testing products without using animals, and they're trying to teach Chinese people to do the same with limited success, because in China they believe the evil West is out to get them, I guess. I don't know. Stuff comes from civilized countries and they make it mandatory to test anything that comes into the country. But they don't require testing on things that are manufactured in their country that don't sell there or do sell there. What? Protesters in China made it possible for the government to reconsider their animal testing stance, and that's why, thanks to those tireless people who protested in China, that's why things that are made there don't have to be tested any longer. Anything that's considered ordinary cosmetics, being everything you put on your face, everything except hair color, has to be tested on, doesn't have to be tested on animals. So, you know, who knows, maybe someday it'll change and China will change their laws entirely to go along with the rest of the world. Australia's cruelty-free now. They passed legislation. The EU, pretty much the entire England, Ireland, and the entire European Union, they passed legislation to be cruelty-free, so they're only not cruelty-free if they ship to China. So China, come on, get with the times here. So anyway, this was supposed to be a very short update about the fact that I'm still cruelty-free after a full year. I have not intentionally purchased anything that was not cruelty-free. I've converted my body washes and everything over to cruelty-free brands because I've used them up so that I can do that. But occasionally you will see something on my channel or on my website that is not cruelty-free that I've gotten for free from a company to test and review. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your patience. Those of you who know me know how I think. Those of you who want to judge me, you can judge what you want, but any comments that you make that are nasty grams are just going to be erased. And I won't read any emails from mean people either. So, you know, try not to be mean. Try to be kind to each other, because if you're cruelty-free, you really should have the heart and soul of a kind person. So remember that. And I've been successful for a year, and I'm very happy about that. Hi, Mary with Reviewer's Diary, and I am just recording this to insert into my update on my cruelty-free status. I thought a lot about it. After I recorded that video, I just kept thinking about it and how I know that sometimes things are cruelty-free when I check them, and then later they're not. And I've had viewers ask me, and I end up having to prove to them that something is cruelty-free by sending links and all kinds of stuff. And honestly, getting a little tired of that. I love my subscribers, and I love that they are very interactive. A lot of times they write to each other, and so far I have not seen any meanness from, you know, interactions with each other either. Sometimes I get nasty grams from other people telling me I suck, but that's okay because they get deleted. But, you know, I want to say that I am no longer going to be stating whether something is cruelty-free or not. I have done my very best. I do keep a list on my website. Everything that I own, I put through the test and do the research and look to see if things are cruelty-free or not, or a brand is cruelty-free or not, and I do my very best. But I want you to understand that if you watch this like 2 years from now, sometimes the things that I tell you are cruelty-free may not be. And so 2 years from now, you might not think to do your own research and make sure, yeah, is it still cruelty-free or is it not? And you might just take my word for it and say, okay, well, Mary from Reviewer's Diary said this is cruelty-free, so I'll buy it. No, because things fluctuate so often. Something that's cruelty-free today might not be cruelty-free tomorrow or next year or in 2 years. Something that is not cruelty-free might become cruelty-free tomorrow, next year, who knows? So I'm going to start with two examples. The first one is this bio oil. Now, I got this bio oil after I read all over the internet that it was cruelty free. And it really did help me out of a tough spot because I developed a reaction to a cleanser that I used. And I ended up with real problems with my skin for about a week. And I used bio oil. This little bottle is just a spare little bottle. And it really healed my skin. So I do like this oil, but now I know that it's not cruelty free. I have a ton of it. I have a huge, big, tall bottle in my bedroom, and that's the one that I used when my skin was really hurting. And this little bottle I keep on my vanity so that I can add it to like foundations and stuff. So this is one example of something that was cruelty free until the company decided to sell in China. The second a company decides to sell in China, they're no longer cruelty free. But sometimes things sell in China and then the company backs out of China. For example, Revlon and Almay together backed out of China. I don't know that Almay was ever truly sold in China because it is listed as cruelty free in most places already, but I won't buy it yet, even though my favorite foundation was an Almay foundation. But it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. It was a drugstore foundation that I really loved, but I can't buy it again because I don't know for sure that they're cruelty free. Now, Revlon and Almay are not in China anymore. This is an example of what could change, and they keep saying on their Facebook that they don't test on animals. They've never tested on animals. Now they've backed out of China, but are they being sold in the drugstores there? I don't know. And so until we know for sure, there's no way to know whether they're actually cruelty free or not. So this is why I want you to take every statement that is made by me or any other YouTuber and do your own research, because what'll happen is you may find that maybe something's not cruelty free. Don't rely on one source. Rely on many. Because you can't say, well, Logical Harmony said they never responded to her, and so therefore they're a brand to be avoided. Okay, so maybe they didn't write back to Logical Harmony. There's brand, I forget what brand it was, but I have comments on my website for that brand that they didn't answer Logical Harmony, but they answered 50 million other bloggers who wrote all the appropriate questions. Do you sell in China? Are you cruelty free? Have you ever sold in China? Like questions like that would really pinpoint whether were your ingredients tested on animals. And this company, I honestly forget which one it is. If I figure it out, I will put it down below. They answered all the questions appropriately. No, they only bought ingredients from suppliers who didn't test on animals. They didn't test on animals. They don't sell in China or any other country that requires animal testing. And so their products are cruelty free, but Logical Harmony labeled them as to be avoided because they didn't answer her email. So you have to think, okay, so if you're going to rely on one source, for example, Leaping Bunny, not every cruelty free company has the Leaping Bunny logo because that costs money. I don't know if PETA charges. Some things have the PETA logo on them, so I don't know if PETA charges any money, maybe a nominal fee because they're using their symbol. I don't know. A lot of companies create their own that has a little rabbit and says no animal testing. So it's not always based on, does it have the Leaping Bunny logo? If you only use Leaping Bunny, then you're limiting yourself to only companies that paid for that logo. And I'm sorry, you may say, well, they should just pay for that logo, but I don't think that's fair. A lot of indie companies are out there and they don't have the Leaping Bunny. They just don't. And a lot of companies don't want to go through the hassle of like putting through all the paperwork and paying for that. Leaping Bunny's fabulous. I use it as one of my shopping tools, but that having been said, when I buy something, I check today is it cruelty-free? And I check several sources. If one of them says it's a brand to be avoided because they didn't answer my questions, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. Especially when it's like amply provided elsewhere that it's cruelty-free and their website says they're cruelty-free. You need to be the judge of your own purchasing. No matter what YouTube person or blogger says something is or isn't cruelty-free, make sure you do more research. Make sure you're totally satisfied. So after recording the video that you just watched, and I'm inserting this, I laid in bed thinking, I could say something's cruelty-free today, and 2 years from now someone might watch my video and buy something because I said it's cruelty-free, and all of a sudden it's not. And I felt terrible. I thought, oh my God, you know, like 2 years from now that something might not be cruelty-free, and someone might go, well, Mary from a Reviewer's Diary said it's cruelty-free, so I'm buying it. No. So I'm no longer going to state whether something is cruelty-free or not, except to say when I know for sure that something is not cruelty-free, I will say so. But even that can change. Maybe I won't even say that. I'm very conflicted about it because I never, in my knowledge, bought something over the last year since I made that statement last August that I was not going to buy anything that wasn't cruelty-free any longer. I have not knowingly purchased anything that was not cruelty-free. I want you to use the tools available to you. Also, if you want to check my website, everything that I have on my channel, I put something on my website in the cruelty-free or not cruelty-free page. I rely on multiple sources for research. I want you to do the same, but there are dates after every entry that I have there, because if I see that I checked something a year ago, I'm going to recheck it. I try to keep everything as current as humanly possible. So thank you for watching. This has been Mary with Reviewer's Diary, and I hope that I've made everything as clear as possible, but I'm no longer going to state whether something's cruelty-free or not, because things change from day to day in the beauty industry. So thank you for watching. This has been Mary with Reviewer's Diary, and have a beautiful evening. Good night.